Hello and welcome to Sports This Morning. I'm Cecilia Omogbe.
Thank you for joining us again. I am Tayo Salam.
All right, the day is finally here, talking about the qualifiers for the FIBA AfroBasket 2021. And we know that the Tigers will be in action on Thursday. All the teams are already in Rwanda, Kigali, kicking off and see how they can book a ticket to the tournament.
Right, Thursday D-Day, not for the Tigers, for
No,
all the teams.
for all of the teams.
Because Nigeria don't start until tomorrow, but the road to Rwanda begins today in Kigali, at the Kigali Arena, to be precise. I'll be talking a lot more about that shortly on the show. Let's move on now, still talking basketball. It's official, Jordan Nwora signed his rookie contract with the Milwaukee Bucks.
That's the biggest news.
Interesting. Even if you get drafted, you still got to sign the contract.
Of course.
Now it's signed, sealed, and delivered. Jordan Nwora is going to be playing with Giannis Adetokounmpo.
Yeah, I'm happy that he wasn't, sold.
He wasn't here. They could have traded him.
Traded him and all that. So they acquired him 45th pick in the draft in the second round. But the good thing is, right now he will be playing with the Milwaukee Bucks with Giannis Adetokounmpo.
Incredible stuff. All right. Also on the show this time around, Cecilia,
Four
in the Champions
teams
League.
in the Champions League. 4 teams have already qualified for the UEFA Champions League knockout stage. Chelsea, of course, is one of them. Barcelona also part of the team. Sevilla, also the team that have qualified for the round of 16.
Incredible stuff. With 2 games to spare, 4 teams qualifying already for the round of 16 of the UEFA Champions League. Sevilla includes one of those teams that have qualified, and you can breathe a sigh of relief. Europa League teams, Sevilla won't be competing for that trophy with you this season, so y'all can relax a bit now
and enjoy
trying that competition.
Right.
Anyways,
Arsenal, remember you're there. Okay,
Arsenal, Tottenham, all those sites. No Sevilla to worry about
at all,
because we know that's their trophy.
Anytime they're there,
that's their trophy.
They win. Okay. Let's start with FIBA AfroBasket this morning,
surely,
right?
Yeah. D-Day.
Yeah, for all of the teams. Yeah, let's start with talking about the teams that will be in action today, right? Yeah, we're having some big teams in action today before we talk about the D-Tigers.
Yeah, so for the other teams like Senegal, Kenya, Angola, Mozambique, they will start their qualification process for the 2021 AfroBasket today. And it's going to be Kenya taking on Senegal. Senegal powerhouse when it comes to basketball in Africa. So we expect them to get the job done over Kenya. Angola as well too, top 3 in Africa. Against Mozambique, there's this inside as well. But you think Angola will get the victory in that game. So that's Group B action today at the FIBA AfroBasket qualifiers in Kigali.
If you read a lot of reports coming from Kenya, the way they've been talking, the journalists talking about how they intend to actually top this group and book a ticket. I'm like, is there something Kenyan have actually done in the past few years that we really don't know about? We know the Senegalese teams, most of their players will not be around, simply because, NBA, the requirement is that all the players must be with their team by December the 1st. So they will not be able to make it down. And of course, for Mozambique too, you also have some big players playing there, and EuroLeague also, some of them are not releasing their players. Just maybe that's why Kenya is actually saying, look, they've got the upper hand right here because the teams have been together and they've been playing so many friendlies ahead of the qualifiers.
Yeah, I see. I think what you're saying now is the field is a bit level. Yes. Because of
the star players may not
being available and stuff. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I still feel Senegal and Angola and Angola will win today. Yeah. Any other result will be
an upset. Okay, so, because it's the country that matters. The players doesn't.
Yeah, they all matter, but I just feel there's enough talent in that Senegal and Angola side to win today. Anyway, so good luck to those teams. They'll be playing later today at the Kigali Arena. For Nigeria, it's tomorrow against South Sudan. South Sudan are replacing Algeria, and I said it yesterday, I'll say it again. Should be a win for Nigeria. But let's just take a look at the roster for Nigeria, the 12 players that will be prosecuting these qualifiers for the country, of course, led by Captain Ike Diogu. He's always there, always ready to play for the country, regardless of his engagements and all of that. So he's been very, very committed to the cause. So Ike Diogu definitely is there. There's also Ben Uzo, another veteran of the D Tigers. Ike Uruegbu is also there. Obi Emegano is also there as well too. There's also Caleb Agada, Kate Nwora, Ibe Agu, Emmanuel Omogbo, Michael Benije is making a comeback. Fantastic. Amanze Egezeke, Jordan Ogundiran, and
Shima Moneke.
Last but not the least.
Okay, that's the 12-man roster for the AfroBasket 2021 qualifiers in Kigali, the D Tigers roster. These guys will be the ones that will be prosecuting the game. And the first game is going to be against South Sudan. And the story from Sudan is that the president of the Basketball Federation, Lou Deng, we know he was a big boy when he was playing Chicago Bulls, remember their forward. So he will be the one that will be coaching South Sudanese team.
Even if Lord Deng gets some hot suit-ups and plays this game, he's still going to end up on the losing side. That's a fact. Anyways, we're very interested to see Lou Deng on the sidelines coaching the South Sudanese.
Remember their heights have been the tallest. Usually, I mean, when you see the South Sudanese...
I know. Okay. We have tomorrow sometime to do a
real analysis on these players, right?
Final preview of the game. So we'll leave it at that for now. We're still talking basketball, but we're moving on with the show. We're talking about D Tigers player Jordan Nwora. Unfortunately, is not a part of the roster for this competition.
And there's a reason for that.
Exactly. There's a big news concerning the 22-year-old who's now signed his rookie contract with the Milwaukee Bucks. And it's exciting times. 8 Nigerians picked during the 2020 draft. But this is a guy who's been committed to the cause for the last couple of years. He's played for the country. Is Nigeria's highest scorer in a single game. 36 points. I remember that game very, very clearly.
Here in Lagos.
Right here in Lagos. And so it's good to see him officially become a part of the NBA for the Milwaukee Bucks. 45th overall pick, like you said, selected out of the University of Louisville. Averaged 18 points, 7.7 rebounds, and 1.3 assists per game last season. He also shot 44 points. 44 points.
5%, yeah. Shooter from the field and ranked 7th in Louisville history in career 3-point field goal percentage. So he's a great shooter. He's
a great outside shooter. And hopefully he can take advantage of playing with someone like Giannis, who attracts a lot of double teams, sometimes even triple teams sent to Giannis. I talk about leaving the likes of Jordan free to make those open shots. So all the best to Jordan. Nwora, I still got to compete and earn his roster spot as well too. This is just like the beginning stages. I still got to go to camp and show the coach
how good it is.
I deserve to play on this team. So all the best to Jordan Nwora.
Yeah, we'll wait and see when the NBA season starts if he can make the roster and start playing so well. It's all advantage to Nigeria.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right then, from Jordan Nwora to another Nigerian who hasn't played for the country yet, but we're hoping. The MVF president is on record as saying, you can start dreaming about this guy actually wearing the green of Nigeria. That's Bam Adebayo is set to sign a 5-year max extension worth $195 million. Cecilia, this is ridiculous. $195 million.
When the contract was confirmed yesterday, I was like, okay, let me take a look at it again. Is it 19 or there's a 5 after the 19?
No, you saw correctly.
So I saw it correctly, and this is big. This is huge. He's 23, is a big man. He averaged career highs, and I mean, 15.9 points, rebounds 10.2 and assists 5.1 per game last season, regular season. In the playoffs, you saw what he did: 17.8 points, 10.3 rebounds, and 4.4 assists for the Heat. So becoming the 4th player in the team history, seeded 5th or worse to reach the NBA Finals. A good one for him, you will say, but you know.
But what?
Adebayo, no, a good one for the team at that time because they had the Lakers to face and all that, so they couldn't. I mean, that's
no one expected Miami to even get
into the finals,
championship finals.
So at the end
let's be serious. So there's no but there for Miami. For Miami right now, it's all about building on that momentum going into the next season, and Adebayo is going to be a major part of the franchise, and that's why they're trying to secure him on this long-term deal. He's about to get paid serious money. Of course, he's still got to pass his medical over the next few days, but that should be routine,
no worries.
really. And when this deal is formalized, it's going to be the richest contract in terms of total value in Miami's franchise history, surpassing that of Jimmy Butler last year.
Great
in Nigeria.
I mean, in Nigeria.
And you know his story as well.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
it's incredible.
Anytime you talk about his mother, I mean, you actually, you know, your tear duct is opened because of what he had to go through.
What the mom
had to go through, you know, for him to get to this stage. But at this particular stage right now, Adebayo, well, multi-millionaire. What would you say? 195
He's set for life.
I'm just like...
Set for life. The mom set for life as well. She sacrificed a lot. The dad, unfortunately, wasn't around. You know.
Yeah, we know the story. Yeah, all that. So.
Man, this guy. Yeah. So it's fantastic for Bam Adebayo. It's going to get paid a lot of money to play basketball. So we leave basketball finally. And let's go to very interesting story. Not popular in this part of the world.
Professional roller skating.
A Nigerian.
Yeah, born British, Tinuke. Okay.
Tinuke
Oyediran. She's 27 years old. Broke the world record for cartwheels on roller skates in 1 minute with 30 and most spin on e-skates in 1 minute with 70 in celebration of the World Guinness Record Day this year. So that was the record she broke. And our correspondent, Juliana, you know, Adenka caught up with her and had to, you know, she brought us this report on how she decided to go into skating and the landmark she's actually achieved, you know, putting herself on the roadmap.
Tinuke Oyediran, more commonly known as Tinuke's Orbit to her 12,500 social media followers, is a skating sensation who has just twirled her way into the Guinness World Records. The former circus performer's skills are so rare, she managed to bag not one, but two of the famed accolades.
I did 2 Guinness World Records in one day. The first one was for as many cartwheels as I could do on roller skates in 1 minute, and the second one was as many spins on e-skates as I could do in 1 minute. I got 30 on the cartwheels and 70 on the spins.
For many of us, you go to one roller skating party when you're a child, you put the skates down, never to be seen again. How did it become a profession for you?
Yeah, so basically I started off as a dancer, a trained dancer, and then I went into a show called Starlight Express where they taught me how to roller skate. It was a very glitz, glam musical, and I did that for 2 years and skated literally every single day for 2 years. When I came back to London, I started up my own company teaching people how to roller skate and performing literally worldwide at the moment. It's just amazing.
Fast forward to 2020 and she says that achieving both of these records has made her lockdown dreams a reality.
I've actually been teaching roller skating and stuff like that in lockdown as well, online, which has been amazing, and I've managed to be teaching people all over the world rather than just in London, and that has been such a blessing. I've seen people progress in my classes in Italy, literally as far as America as well. So I'm really excited to get some more classes started up in January. Please do have a look on my channel. It's Tinuke's_orbit. You can find me on Instagram, and I'm going to be starting up a whole bunch of classes on there and teaching the world how to roller skate and just expressing that love and that joy.
Juliana Olayinka, reporting for Channels Television News in London.
That's Tinuke there. I mean, a great one, a great achievement for her. You know, there's some things you're doing, you just feel I'm doing it for the fun. But, I mean, she had to, you know, go professional when it comes to roller skating, and you can only achieve that, well, somewhere else. And here is always hard.
Very, very interesting life she's had. A circus performer, teacher by trade. Now she's in the Guinness World Record book for roller skates, and that's quite...
Talking about massive achievements, I mean, I know how the cartwheel and the hardcore can be when it comes to skating. Tried it once, I failed, so I never tried it again.
Yeah, I used to do it when I was younger as well. Too. Like I said, it's a very tricky sport.
You have to dedicate time.
Yeah,
a lot of times for you to achieve that.
A lot of the times you might just find you're behind on the ground. So
most times.
Got to be very careful.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, let's leave Tinuke Oyediran and let's go on to another Nigerian who's breaking
great
barriers,
things.
is blazing the trail. This time in mixed martial arts. Of course, there are 2 Nigerians, Kamaru Usman and Israel Adesanya. But we're talking about Israel Adesanya today because he's #1 when it comes to mixed martial arts power rankings. The rankings that was released yesterday, and Israel Adesanya is #1 ahead of the likes of Conor McGregor, Khabib Nurmagomedov, and John Jones. Cecilia, all those names
I was surprised when I saw it.
all those names are like
They've been there.
they've been there way before Israel, and they are big stars when it comes to the UFC. So for Adesanya to be the #1 on this list, it is major. And of course, the reactions have been, very, very rife, and some people don't agree with it. But the panel that came up with this list at ESPN, they factored in success. We know it's very successful.
Successful.
He's a champion middleweight. They factored in his momentum, still unbeaten,
Yes.
20-0, and factored in the star factor as well. So he's a major star.
superstar.
I mean, come on, he's got the it factor, and that's why he's top of that list. There you go, Israel Adesanya, #1 MMA power rankings, ahead of Khabib Nurmagomedov. There's also Conor McGregor.
And John Jones.
John Jones is arguably the greatest of all
Yeah.
time when it comes to the UFC.
yeah.
And there's also the ladies
Amanda
representing
Nunes. Yeah,
Amanda.
I'm happy that she actually made the top 5.
She has to. She has to. She's been so dominant.
Yeah.
UFC bantamweight and featherweight champion. Let's move on to the next page where you have Stipe Miocic, heavyweight champion of the world, #6. There's also Kamaru Usman. That's the
2
welterweight
Nigerians
champion.
in
2
top 10.
Nigerians
In the
in
top 10.
MMA. That's ridiculous. Valentina Shevchenko, Bullet. She's #8. There's also the new guy, kid on the block, Hamzat Chamev, who's smashing everyone in sight. 9-0 record, 3 in the UFC. #9, and last but not the least, is Davison Figueiredo, who's a UFC flyweight champion.
Yeah, that's the numbers. 2 Nigerians making
Whoa.
the top 10. That's the story this morning. And Israel Adesanya, just telling everyone, yes, I came here to actually reign. When he was here in the studio, he said he wants to take over the UFC. We're like, okay, you've not even won anything.
He said it.
I mean,
He
you've not
said
even
it
won
clearly.
anything. You're just starting. So how the confidence he had, I think he knew what he was talking about. And he's there where we actually want him. The best in the world right now. Analysts can argue,
They can
but
argue, of
numbers
course.
don't lie.
Numbers don't lie. Yeah, well,
That's what
numbers
it
can
is.
lie sometimes, but this numbers
don't lie.
So congratulations to Israel Adesanya, who's the #1 fighter in MMA, according to the latest power rankings. Of course, we're looking forward to seeing him back in the octagon next year, challenging for the light heavyweight title against Jan
In February.
Blachowicz.
Yeah,
That'll be
that's
very
in
interesting
February.
fights.
Interesting one. So
You're welcome back to Channel Sport this morning. You got to listen to Victoria's Premier Daniel Andrews, and earlier you listened to Victoria's Sports and Major Events Minister Martin Pakula speaking on the likelihood of a slight delay for the year's first major. And we know the reason why. Strict protocols in place for this particular state where they just celebrated 25 days
without
of no
a
new
single
COVID
case. Yeah.
So they're trying to protect.
They don't want it to come back.
Exactly. So it's a bit.
It is.
It's understandable. And the players have been talking for the last few days now. It's very likely. The major fear is they might go into this competition without any kind of serious preparation.
Yeah, that's what they're afraid of.
That is the issue. Yeah.
But another thing is that they said they will be allowed to practice, which is also good.
practice
But
is
if there's no
different from not
competitive
playing, actually.
tennis and you're just practicing, you'll be not giving your best.
absolutely
And also
not.
knowing the fact that they will also have to undergo quarantine. So quarantine,
Exactly.
but we don't know how many days they're going to give them now. But, usually in some
Standard
countries,
it's 2 weeks.
It's 2 weeks. But, there's some 7 days and all
Yeah,
that. So if you have
so-
to, it simply means some of them will have to travel down early enough, quarantine for 7 days and start training. But we're still waiting to see, because I remember on Saturday where the Tennis Australia was saying that the speculation that they'll move it back wasn't true. But now from what these guys are saying, I mean, the owners of the city, so to speak, saying that, look, I mean, it may not hold exactly that time. Could be 1 week or 2 weeks delay. We'll just wait and see. Australian Open is still in January 18th to 31st. So that's the date. But we don't know what's going to
January
happen.
18th is just around the corner, Cecilia.
Very
it's not
close.
long to go at all. So, anyways, we'll continue to monitor that situation. And if there's any kind of postponement, I will be letting you know on the show. Let's leave the Australian Open. Let's go to another competition that was postponed because of COVID. The Olympics, the biggest sports competition in the world, is going to take place next year haven't been moved from this year because of COVID-19 pandemic. And Thomas Bach has been in Tokyo the last week, thereabouts, inspecting, talking to the governor. He's been to the Games Village. And it's very interesting to see this guy sending the very clear message to the athletes. It's an encouraging message, let's just put it that way, that forget everything you've gone through this year. We all know it's been very difficult, the challenges. Just look forward to coming to Tokyo and staying at the Games Village next year. That's
what is important. The message was also train harder, even very, very difficult circumstances and all that. And also know that it's 9 months to the Olympics and it's going to be holding next year. Okay, we'll not be able to listen to Thomas Bach talking about that. We just summarized what I was about to say, though. Precisely. I mean, train harder, get ready, the Olympic Village. This is where I am. Everyone is looking good and cool. Looking good and ready. Okay. You're welcome back. Femi Faraway has now joined us as our guest for today. We're going to be doing our comprehensive review of the UEFA Champions League match day 4 matches played yesterday night. Femi, it's great to have you on the show. Good morning. It's great to be here. Yeah, fantastic. It took you quite a bit to get here. Oh, I'm here in one piece. Yeah, that's all that matters, right? I know the roads are crazy these days, so it's just incredible stuff. Let's just cut to the chase. Let's go to matches played in the UEFA Champions League. Last night, 4 teams, like we said at the start of the show, have qualified for the round of 16 with 2 games to spare. Barcelona qualified, Chelsea, Sevilla, and the old lady of Turin. And confirmation of the results from yesterday. Krasnodar losing to Sevilla, while Chelsea also defeated Rennes by 2-1. 2 late goals in that game. In Group F, it was Dortmund 3-0 over Club Brugge. Of course, Erling Haaland was on target again, 2 goals, taking his tally to 16 in just 12 games. Lazio 3-1 over Zenit. Ciro Immobile was amongst the goal scorers in that one. In Group All right, so that's it for the UEFA Champions League games played last night. Let's start with Manchester United. They were also in action. And before that game, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer pretty much was a rallying call to his team. You guys have got to give me a good response after what happened on match day 3 where they lost in Turkey. I think we saw that pretty much, especially in the first half where they just ran riots.
You know, I thought United played a very good game as well. Whenever they're pushed to the wall, they always respond, and they did that yesterday. Bruno Fernandes has stamped his authority on that team. He seems like an integral part of everything good coming out of United. Got 2 goals as well in that game. To be honest, I think United have clawed their way back into a group that sounds and looks very interesting. Because yesterday we also saw PSG secure a victory as well, and that game was hard-fought. So it means everything goes down the wire because United's next game is against PSG, and there's a lot expected as well from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and his side. But to be honest, I thought it was a very interesting match day as well for them.
Interesting match day. That's a very interesting word to use because, I mean, the scoreline says 4-1, but it could easily have been 4-4. It could be 5-4 because they give chances away to Istanbul.
Well, over time, we've seen what United, defensively, that's not their strength. They haven't been that compact unit. It's been one performance after the other where you look and say, will this be the last job or last game for the manager?
Ole,
But I think that over time, what makes a team stand out is when everyone puts in their effort, and that's what we saw. Scoring and defending are the same thing. The minute you get the ball, what you do with it comes into the picture. And I thought United did well, in my opinion. I thought some of the players also stood out as well. Bruno, Van der Beek also poured himself out, and I thought the performance was good.
Well, what about Cavani? Cavani started.
Cavani also, I thought he's not had a run of football games. If he does, unfortunately, when you've got Martial, you've got Rashford, it's difficult to see where to fix him, even Van der Beek. But I think when he gets that run, he's experienced. He's the sort of player you want at that level. He's done it big. And once he gets into those games, I think he'll come out good.
He'll come out good. Martial has been the centre forward for United for the last season now. But now that you have an experience, I was talking about it yesterday. Cavani surely has to be the guy leading the line for United going forward.
I think going forward, maybe that's what Ole would do. Because,
Martial on the left.
Martial on the left. Then you have Rashford, of course, on the right. Then you have Cavani leading the pack. And, of course, Bruno Fernandes will have the opportunity to roam around and get the goals he scores. But then Ole has been talking about that game and also, you know, praising Bruno Fernandes, what he has actually done for the team. He scored a double on the 9th.
Well, the group is still very open. We've got 9, 2 on 6, and Başakşehir on 3. So we still need points to go through. 1 probably should be enough to go through, and 3 probably gives you the win. So it's going to be 2. Hopefully against PSG we can secure the points we need. But that's another matter. Edinson and Donny did really well, both of them. Of course, I thought the whole team played really well. We found our positions, and the tempo in the ball was really good. So we deserved the win. Of course, after that first half, second half was a little bit. It's always different and more difficult to keep the tempo up when you're winning 3-0. He's a player who likes to take risks. He likes to create chances. He likes to score goals. He likes his team. He's a winner. He wants the team to win. So and he wants the team to do well, and I think it shows today that he can do more than just take penalties.
Yeah. And he could have scored a hat-trick on the night, but Rashford decided to take the penalty because he was the one who was fouled.
He let Rashford take the penalty. It must be said, right?
Yeah.
Let Rashford take it. What a teammate. What an impact is that on the side. Let's go to the next match in the group.
Yeah, PSG and Leipzig.
1-0.
1-0. I mean, I expected more, but they're playing against Leipzig, so Leipzig is not a team that you can easily push over. And it was even from the penalty spot that Neymar was able to get the goal.
Well, I think for PSG it was big because, PSG have been under tremendous pressure to turn things around and get results. In the Champions League, they got to the final last season. Yeah. This season, they're sort of struggling. Neymar's injury, the coronavirus, many of the players contracted as well.
Been injured a lot
but they all came to the party yesterday. Now, I thought what they did was Leipzig were in the game. Leipzig created opportunity. Leipzig sort of gotten something out of that game. But PSG were dogged. They stuck to it. Neymar and Mbappe did what they had to do. I love what Tuchel did as well in rotating and showing, okay, this one is started. Neymar only started at the weekend from the bench. This game, he got his first start. And after some time, took him off because you need to get the result. There will be many more games. PSG also put their names back in the conversation. And I think they're really good for it.
Yeah, it's a very interesting group, like you said earlier, because United on top 9. There's also 6 and 6 for PSG and Leipzig. So anyone can still qualify.
Anyone can qualify. That's what makes the last 2 games very important. PSG got United in the next game. United need just a point. PSG know they need to fight even harder to keep United back in that conversation of we need to qualify before you. And you also remember that whichever team finishes top, that gets a good chance of facing someone else.
Easier side in quotes.
In quotes, I love that because if you're going to be facing Sevilla, a team like that, I mean, it's not an easy team because it's second right now. And that's where we're going to next, talking about Chelsea. And Rennes and Sevilla and Krasnodar. Chelsea will start off with that one. I mean, clinical, they needed that. They knew, okay, once we win this game, we have 2 games to spare. You can decide to bring all the French players.
Literally rising to the occasion. Superb header to give Chelsea all 3 points.
For Giroud, I think he's had a very good maybe 2-3 months. Internationally, he's still the fresh striker for France. And when he went the last international break, got goals, his agent came out to talk about, you need to leave.
You need to stop playing.
Because you need to get game in, game out. If you're not playing, there's no how Didier Deschamps will not consider you. But for Chelsea, once again, he got that goal, which was what Chelsea needed. I think Lampard has also turned the corner recently. Results have been coming in, they've been better. They score well now. Defensively, they're keeping clean sheets. And I think it's tight at the back because they say it's not about the guys in front of you, it's the guy at the back of those 4 guys. And that's where Mendy comes in. I thought Mendy has been a revelation for Chelsea this season. His stock to his gun, his save ratio from last season to this season has also improved. He's also done very well, understanding and communicating with his back four. Zuma also in that back four as well. I thought they've done with Thiago Silva, came in yesterday as well after missing out the weekend. So I thought Chelsea looked good. They fought hard. Well, eventually they got the result.
Yeah, so that's all that matters. 3 points, late goal coming from Olivier Giroud. The next match in that same group, very identical situation, 2-1. Late goal as well for Sevilla, and they're also through to the round of 16.
Sevilla's own story is a very interesting. Normally, you'd think they'll drop down to Europa League where they'll box their way. But this season, they looked through the group as well. You have an easier opportunity to go to the next phase. And I think they're doing their bit as well. It's now down to the final game or the final 2 games to see which team will top that group. And I'm sure both of them are looking at it. Chelsea, they found their comfort zone. Sevilla are grinding out results. Lopetegui has a way of constructing his team to get what he wants. 2-1, I thought as pragmatic as that result sounded, Sevilla have just put one leg a little further to qualifying for the next phase.
Sevilla, congratulations. Like I said, Europa League sides, you can breathe easy now. This team will not be there to try and take that trophy off you because they're in the round of 16. Let's talk about Juventus.
They also had to leave it late, man.
They needed Alvaro Morata to score literally at the death to get all 3 points.
You know, credit for the manager as well. He's come on that tremendous fire at the start of the season. His team were not playing so well.
What team are they playing? A team from Hungary,
No, I'm saying generally, if they get knocked out, that would be the story. If Juventus get knocked out, everyone will turn and look at the manager. And the reason why I say he saved himself his job. Ronaldo got the first goal for Juventus.
Morata had a miss before he was able to get that one.
Understand.
I mean, that
in the game against Barcelona,
was unpardonable.
He had a hat-trick of offside goals. Hat-trick of offside goals that were all cancelled. So slowly the results are getting better also. Performance are also improving. What I thought was cheeky was the goal scored by the Ferencváros striker. He scored and celebrated the way Ronaldo will. Like, you know what, whatever you could do, we could do better as well. But I think
he didn't know that Ronaldo was waiting in the wings.
He was upset.
To equalize.
He was upset about it. But I thought Juventus did just enough to keep themselves in the conversation.
That's all that matters. So 4 teams through to the round of 16. Barca, Juventus, Sevilla, and Chelsea.
Barcelona, no Messi, no problem. So
games to go,
4-0. I mean, that was a good one.
Braithwaite scoring twice
Dynamo Kiev
in that game. All right, let's move on to today. Matches will continue match day 4. Interesting fixtures to talk about as well. And it's going to be groups A to D, where you have Atletico Madrid taking on Lokomotiv Moscow. There's also Bayern. You expect them to book qualification for the round of 16 against Salzburg later today. In Group B, it's Borussia Mönchengladbach will take on Shakhtar Donetsk, while the big match of the day is between Inter Milan and Real Madrid. We'll get the thoughts of Femi in a bit. Group C, Man City, they're in Greece to take on Olympiacos, while it's Porto taking on Olympique Marseille. And last but not the least is in Group D, Ajax versus FC Midtjylland, the whipping boys of the group, and Liverpool, Atalanta. Liverpool, I'm sure, will look to get all 3 points in that one.
So we Man City first.
Okay, I was so excited to go and talk about Real.
Well,
let's leave it for
let's get, before we get your reaction, let's get reaction now coming from Manchester City manager talking about the game, and also Sergio Aguero. We may just have him tonight or may not because he just returned to training.
It's not coming.
So it means he's back. For him to be on the bench means it's a step. So this is the Champions League. It gives him, maybe give him a few minutes because City need to get goals.
They are always at the forefront. Zinedine Zidane, of course. How many managers have been able to win Champions League back to back?
Like you said, we saw them against Mönchengladbach.
They were not very convincing. We also saw them as well at the weekend. Villarreal, also not convincing as well. Mariano Diaz had to step up. So the injury to Karim Benzema puts a question of, okay, who leads the line? At the back, also that defensive organization by Ramos, who is also a miss. That puts another question again. Who leads the line? Because, to be honest, I don't think Real have got loads of leaders in that back. Maybe in midfield, maybe up front, but at the back, it looks like there's a lot of worry. Carvajal is back, and I thought that's positive for them, but they need to get results, and Inter also need that as well. So 2 teams that need results, they fight to the finish.
Fight to the finish, and that's why it's a very, very interesting game tonight. But would you say at this particular time, maybe letting Gareth Bale go will just come back to hurt? I mean, I'm saying Karim Benzema is injured now. You don't have anyone to fall back on.
They've got Mariano Diaz. We just mentioned Diaz.
Yeah, I know you just mentioned.
They've got loads of players. There's Jovic.
I'm talking about the guys that will give you goals in the Champions League stage. The guys that will give you the goals when you need them.
That's why the midfield has to step up. You've got the experience of Luka Modric.
But you don't have the forward line, which is important.
Well, maybe the Brazilians, Vinicius Junior and Co. will need to step up in this.
They've got decent forwards. Vinicius, Rodrigo, all those guys.
They're good guys. Luka Jovic. I'll be looking at, for me, but I still think Inter have got it.
Inter have got
it in line with this game.
It's a win situation for Inter. They can't afford to be stuck on 2 points after 4 match days. That match will be played at the San Siro. No fans still, so huge part of the home advantage is taken out of the equation. So Inter will have to do this job without their fans. So you have Champions League match day 4 games. When we come back on the show tomorrow, we will be giving you all the updates on those games. We have some papers and some tweets.
Yeah, I'll just take this one. I mean, it has to do with what you're talking about and all that. Nobleman Flyer says, I see the Champions League coming to the theater of dreams in my dreams last night. Brace up, guys, for the shocker. He's watching from Cody, England.
On. Dream
Yeah, he's a United player. I mean, the Champions League coming to the theater of dreams. Would that happen this season? I mean, dreams come true, you know?
But I don't think so. I think United have a lot of issues to sort out. And defensively, they haven't put those things. Defense is, like they say, win you championship.
Yeah.
Attack will just win you games. And that's why I think United's problem is defensively. Those four at the back, they don't play together. When you watch Liverpool, their victorious season, there was this coordination, like an orchestra, where all four of them knew when to go, when to return. Van Dijk orchestrating everything as the conductor. Maguire hasn't done enough. But in attack, I think they can come through as well.
Okay. Well, we'll just see if they can, because, I mean, people have been talking about, you know, when you have a coach like Ole, he may not have so much to offer. That's what
but you never know.
Because of the way he has set up his team or something?
No, but you never know, because the season of Di Matteo, he wasn't the most illustrious manager, had very little to show as well. Yeah. But he went on to win the Champions League with Chelsea. We've seen some shocking wins.
But we could see a little bit of consistency in Di Matteo, right?
But the next season,
I mean, he wasn't there for a long time. I think it was 6 months, right?
Yeah, he came in.
He came on during the season.
During the season, and they won the Champions League. So
that's why Chelsea were awful. They even lost the first leg to Napoli. And then he came, turned things around. They got a result, won the Champions League. And then where is he today? He's just fizzled off. So that's my issue, that Ole could just surprise everyone. It's a big possibility.
Okay.
Yeah, big possibility or little, all right. Little to no chance.
Yeah.
Of United winning the
Champions League
right now. Ole, little to no chance.
Okay, well, he has said it, and of course, Nobleman Flyer also said it. Champions League could just be going to the theatre of dreams. What's today's the 25th of November? We'll see.
Don't quote me.
Thank you so much, Femi, for coming.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate your time, Femi. Appreciate your time. All right, that's it for the show. Of course, I will come back again tomorrow, so try and join us again. I am Tayo Salam.
I'm Cecilia Mogbe. Have a great day.